Ladies and gentlemen, good day and welcome to the Nava Limited Q4 FY23 earnings conference call hosted by ICICI Securities. As a reminder, all participant lines will be in the listen-only mode, and there will be an opportunity for you to ask questions after the presentation concludes. Should you need assistance during the conference call, please signal an operator by pressing star then 0 on a touch-tone phone. Please note that this conference is being recorded. I now hand the conference over to Mr. Mohit Kumar from ICICI Securities. Thank you, and over to you, sir.
Thank you, Jico. On behalf of ICICI Securities, we welcome you to the Q4 FY23 earnings call of Nava Limited. From management, today we have with us Mr. Ashwin Devineni, Chief Executive Officer, Mr. G.R.K. Prasad, Executive Director, Mr. Sultan Bag, Chief Financial Officer, Mr. Nikhil Devineni, Senior Vice President, and Mr. V.S.N. Raju, Company Secretary and Vice President. Before we go on to the main call, I would like to read the standard disclaimer. There may be forward-looking statements about the company and the subsidiaries which are based on the beliefs, opinions, and expectations of the company management as on the date of this call. The company do not assume any obligation to update their forward-looking statements if the beliefs, opinions, expectations, or other circumstances should change. These statements are not guarantees of future performance and involve risks and uncertainties that are difficult to predict. Consequently, listeners should not place any undue reliance on such forward-looking statements. With this, I'll hand over the call to the management to take it forward. Over to you, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning to you all. This is Ashwin. I'm pleased to welcome you all to the investor call for Nava Limited and address you on behalf of the Board of Directors. I'm sure you all have gone through our press release on the website and on the stock exchange platforms, presenting the financial results for the fourth quarter and year ended March 31st, 2023. Allow me to highlight some key achievements from our performance. Firstly, Nava Limited has delivered exceptional financial results for FY 2023. We have achieved the highest ever income of 3,928 crores on a consolidated basis, which is a remarkable achievement in our industry. Moreover, our profit after tax for the year stands at 1,222 crores, showcasing the effectiveness of our strategies and the dedication of our team. This robust financial performance is a testament to the resilience and commitment of Nava Limited. One of the significant contributors to our success has been the turnaround of our Zambia operations. Mamba Collieries Limited has demonstrated its potential by achieving its highest power plant availability of 92% in the financial year of 2023 since the commencement of power generation in 2016. Furthermore, Mamba Collieries Limited has made substantial progress in the debt repayment, having repaid overdue loan installments of $98.5 million by March 31st, 2023, and an additional $49 million thereafter. To date, NCL has significantly reduced its long-term debt by $147.5 million, and we anticipate the balance overdue long-term debt of $59 million to be addressed in the near future. The success of our Orissa-based 150 megawatt power station and the robust performance of our manganese alloy business, particularly in H1, has also contributed significantly to our consolidated performance. We have witnessed a positive momentum in our manganese alloy production with facilities in both Telangana and Orissa works. Our firm contracts for raw materials and sales give us confidence in our ability to increase volumes and drive future growth. Looking ahead, Nava Limited remains confident in its ability to capitalize on emerging opportunities and overcome challenges in the industry. We are dedicated to delivering long-term value to our shareholders while providing innovative solutions and exceptional service to our customers. Once again, we would like to express our gratitude to all our investors and shareholders for their unwavering support and trust in the company. We look forward to your continued partnership as we navigate the exciting path ahead. Thank you all, and I wish to open the floor for any questions you may have. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and one on their touch-tone telephone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and two. Participants are requested to use handsets while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. Our first question is from the line of Jatin Damania from Kotak Securities. Please go ahead. Mr. Jatin, your line has been unmuted. Please go ahead.
So first question is on the payment that you are supposed to receive from the JESCO. Now, we are supposed to receive this payment in the month of August. Now, same has been delayed for the month of December 23 and 24 in two parts. So can you highlight the reason why the payment got delayed and what is the assurity that you are getting from the JESCO that we will get this payment?
Yeah, so I think Mr. Damania, good morning. I think you're talking about the arbitration award payment. Right? Yeah. So, like what was mentioned in the previous investor call, we had a meeting with JESCO where they did express difficulty in terms of paying the entire amount as a lump sum, and we have agreed to a specific payment plan with JESCO. And so far, they have been adhering to that payment plan. I think the payment plan stipulates that out of the total outstanding of 397 million, they would be paying about 250 million by the end of 2023, and the balance 180 at the end of 2024. And they've been adhering to that, and they've been making all the payments on time.
Okay, so just because of the inability to pay in a lump sum, we have changed the repayment schedule.
Yes, where they pay on a monthly basis certain amounts, and they've been doing that.
And so in monthly basis, are we receiving the amount in the escrow account, or we are seeing a delay in that as well?
No, like I said, we have been receiving those monthly payments on time.
And so what is the quantum of that? If you can give us the same.
The quantum of the monthly, in terms of, it's not a static amount. It differs month on month. I think they have put in some thought in terms of how they would gather funds and how the year would look like. So every month is a different quantum.
Okay.
For example, last month we got $16 million from JESCO.
Oh, that's good. And the second question on the MCL, now we are operating at almost about more than 90% PLF. And we have near about $59 million of overdue, which we will be paying in the near term. So post that, I just wanted to understand what is the capital allocation, because the majority of the overdues will be paid probably in this financial year, looking at the cash flows. So you can set the capital allocation strategy.
Yeah, so I think you said it right. Right now, out of 6 installments that were overdue, we paid $118 million, and now the only overdue amount is $59 million, which equates to about 2 installments. We hope to kind of clear that very soon. Once that is done, there are certain conditions as per our contracts with the lenders that we need to adhere to, such as DSRA and so on. But once that is done, then distribution will be allowed, and we hope to see that soon.
Okay. Thank you, Ashwin. That's all from my side. I'll come back in the queue.
Thank you. Our next question is from the line of Nikhil Abhayankar from ICICI Securities. Please go ahead.
Thank you for the opportunity, sir, and congrats on a good year.
Mr. Nikhil, may we request you to use the handset as you're not audible?
Thanks for the opportunity, sir, and congrats on a good year. So, sir, in the previous call, you have mentioned your intention to expand power capacity in Zambia and also expand your ferrochrome business. So, have we come out with any concrete plans for the same?
Yeah, so with regards to Zambia, this interest to expand or requirement to expand has actually come from the government side, given the energy crisis in the southern African region. So we are in discussions with the government with regards to the expansion, and I will pass it on to Mr. Nikhil to talk about the ferroalloy expansion.
Mr. Nikhil, thank you for the question. Were you referring to ferrochrome expansion in Zambia?
So both, sir.
Sorry, I didn't get it. Can you repeat your question?
Zambia. Yes, sir, Zambia.
In Zambia, we have no plans to set up an alloys industry.
And in domestic market?
Domestic market, we were producing ferrochrome for most of H1 and some part of H2. From 15th of December onwards, we have switched over from the conversion of ferrochrome for DSL to manufacturing silicomanganese. So currently, both our units in Telangana and in Odisha are producing silicomanganese.
Okay, and so we have stepped down on ferrochrome. We are not producing that much.
No, we're not producing anymore.
Okay. So, coming back to the Zambia expansion, so what kind of size are we expecting to add over there? And again, will it be going through a global multilateral agency for the funding and all the financial ties?
No, so in terms of size, we would preferably like to replicate what we currently have, which is 2 times 150, which is 300 megawatts. And with regards to funding, we're exploring various options. One is talking to international banks, but also talking to the government if they can kind of extend a loan from their side. So all discussions are underway.
Understood, sir. And sir, any plans on agri? And basically, I want you to paint a broad picture as to where do you see this agri business in Zambia in say next 5 years?
So on the agri side, we have been gaining large momentum. We have a large 10,000 hectare piece of land, out of which we've portioned a certain area for avocados, and then we plan on using the rest of the areas for other crops. But on the avocado front, we progressed well. I think we are first targeting the initial phase of 275 hectares, which we plan on completing plantations by the end of 2023. We are essentially looking at fairly high-value crops, such as avocado. We see a lot of traction being gained with avocado in the international markets because demand is increasing and supply is decreasing. So but with agriculture, it takes time. We would expect the fruits from the first batch to only be seen in 2026.
Okay, sir. So I've got more questions, but I'll get back in the queue. Thanks.
Thank you. Our next question is from the line of S.G. Kankani from S.G. Kankani and Associates, CS. Please go ahead.
Good morning, sir. I am S.K. Kankani from Raipur.
Good morning.
Sir, my question is that in financial year 21-22, the profit before tax was around 890 crores, out for which you made a tax provision of 276 crores. And in the current financial, that is last financial 22-23, the PBT is 1264 crores, and the tax provision just half of the provision made in the last financial year, 130 crores. So what is the reason for less provision for tax in spite of a higher PBT?
Good morning, Mr. Kankani. There are two factors. The overall consolidated tax provision consists of standalone Nava and its subsidiaries. So In Nava Limited, from this year onwards, we have shifted to new tax regime of lower taxation of 25%. That's why the tax on the Nava standalone front is lower. On the other subsidiaries, Mamba Collieries power sector enjoys a tax holiday, and there has been some reversal of deferred tax assets and liabilities. That's why the overall tax provision is looking lower.
No, sir, I am not talking about reversal of deferred tax. I am talking about PBT, where if you say the calculation is made at 25%, even this tax provision for year 2223 is just 130 crore. That is roughly around 10%.
Yes, sir. It is because of two factors, standalone as well as consolidated. Standalone, it is standard at 25%. At the console level, at Mamba Collieries, there has been lower taxation because of the tax holiday on the power sector.
Okay, sir. Sir, my second question is that in the consolidated financial statements, the receivables other than this non-current assets, I think presumably that non-current assets consists of dues from JESCO. So the current assets, we have shown that trade receivables have increased from 1075 crores to 2337 crores. There is increase of around 1300 crores in the receivables. So in spite of JESCO payments we are receiving back and that have been shown under non-current assets. So what is the reason for increasing trade receivables which have shown under current assets?
Sir, earlier the classification of the receivables from JESCO was under non-current. So it's only the change in classification from non-current to current. The overall receivable number from the JESCO has significantly come down. Two factors, because of the payment against the arrears. Second, because of the regular payments which is happening from May 22 onwards, there has been no increase on the monthly receivables.
That is right, sir. I am talking about trade receivables which have been shown under current assets. So that does not include dues from JESCO. So the current assets receivables have gone up from 1075 crores to 2337 crores. There is increase of around 1300 crores. So I presume that JESCO receivables are not included in current this trade receivables. So what is the reason for increase in trade receivables shown under current assets?
Sir, that has been a transfer from non-current to current. The overall receivable number has come down, but it's only classification difference from non-current to current. Because now we are considering the entire receivables from arbitration procedures current receivables.
Okay. Sir, you have shown that 3,400 crores are still dues from JESCO. So these payments are to be cleared in monthly installments as mentioned in the arbitration award?
Yes, sir, absolutely right.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Our next question is from the line of Falguni Datta from Jet 8 Securities Private Limited. Please go ahead.
Good morning, sir. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Sir, I have three questions. One is what are the outstanding dues from JESCO as on date? I mean, as we speak.
The current outstanding amount from 397 right now.
How much, sir?
397.
Okay. And sir, what is the loan outstanding at Zambia?
265.
And sir, one more question is on the power plant. Sir, why are we considering at all of increasing the size of the power plant there, even though there is notwithstanding that there is a power crisis there, since our experience in terms of payment has been poor. So what gives us confidence in going ahead with it, the new expansion that you spoke of, 2 into 150 megawatts?
Yeah, I mean, you see, one is there is a lot of demand. The second thing now is we're also a member of the Southern African Power Pool. So it's not like JESCO, our experience with JESCO has been poor in the past, but once now that we are a member of the Southern African Power Pool, we have another window where, if we do experience a vast amount of defaults from JESCO, or we're not happy with the JESCO's offtake, we can always resort to selling in the Southern African Power Pool grid, which is kind of like an exchange.
Okay. Thank you. And
the other thing you should have to keep in mind is the second phase is essentially like a no-brainer because all the auxiliaries for 600 megawatts already exist.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And sir, one last question. This is just a clarification. In your notes to accounts, I saw some discount, which was, I think, if I'm not wrong, included in that figure of 180 million odd. So, what was this discount and has it been provided for? If yes, in which year?
Ma'am, are you talking about the discount on the receivables from ZESCO?
Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am. If you could recall, our overall outstanding due from ZESCO when we have gone into arbitration was $578 million. And in the mutual discussions between us and ZESCO during arbitration, we have given them a discount of $60 million. Okay. So this $60 million doesn't hit the P&L because it has been adjusted against the existing provision.
Okay, understand, sir. Thank you, sir. That's all from my side.
Thank you. Our next question is from the line of Vignesh Iyer from Sequent Investments. Please go ahead.
Sorry, yeah. Two questions from my side. First is, sir, I just need the clarification again. So if I'm not wrong, the payment plan, the money that is to come from ZESCO is around 397 million. How much did you say would we get in FY23 and how much in FY24? Or CY23, CY24, plan?
Yeah. So the total amount is 397. As per the plan, we should be getting 250 million by the end of FY23.
Okay.
Sorry, by the end of calendar year 23, not FY23. Okay. And 180 million by the end of calendar year 2024. So by end of December, we should be getting 250 million. And by end of December 2024, we should be getting the balance, which is 180 million.
Fair enough. And this payment would be on a continuous basis, right? Every month basis, right? And not...
It's not a constant number. It is on a monthly basis, and we have been getting it. Like I disclosed last month, they were supposed to pay us 16 million as per the payment plan, and they paid us 16 million.
60, right?
16.
Okay. So means April to December you should get 250 million basically, if I'm reading it right.
The total payment that we were supposed to receive in the calendar year was 250. We have already received about 40. So balance 210 million we'll receive from May to December.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, got it. So my other question from my side is the power plant availability is at 91%, which is quite high. What is the situation right now? After almost 2 months done in this quarter, and how confident are we that we can maintain at this rate going ahead? Because that is your major chunk of business to your entire Nava consolidated.
No, I think, owing to the team we have at Mamba who are operating the power plant, they've been doing an excellent job and hence the high availability. So apart from your usual planned shutdowns and maybe one or two unplanned shutdowns, we're not facing any major issues there, and we are confident that we will be operating it at high availability.
Okay. So how much was the planned shutdown days or unplanned one in the current quarter, quarter 4?
No. Annual, we basically operate at about 85%. That's the target.
Okay. But we did have some shutdown in the current quarter, right?
That is after taking into account the shutdown days.
Sorry?
Q4 availability was 88. There have been no unplanned shutdowns. This is basically all planned.
Okay, fine. Yeah, thank you, sir. That's all from my side. All the best.
Thank you. Before we take the next question, a reminder to all participants that you may press star and 1 to ask a question. Our next question is from the line of Jaitra Mayani from ICICI Securities. Please go ahead.
Hi, am I audible?
Yes, please.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity. And my question is, what is the realization on merchant sale from the South Africa pool, and what is the outlook on merchant sales for FY24?
I wouldn't like to get into details now with regards to how much we're making on the SAPP and ZESCO. I think the arrangement we have with ZESCO is basically if they are not able to take power, they let us know, and then we sell that in the Southern African power pool. But during the past few months, they've been taking 100% of the power, paying us for 100% of the amount. So our SAPP sales have been fairly minimum in the past few months because of the fact that ZESCO wants and is taking all the power.
Okay, and can you also give the breakup of debt across all the various entities?
I'm sorry, what? Can you repeat yourself?
If you can give the breakup of outstanding debt, outstanding loans.
Outstanding long-term debt as on date is $265 million.
Okay.
Mamba. I meant this is for Mamba coverage. Is it that your question?
Yeah, okay, fine. That's good. Thank you.
Hello? Who's next?
Yes, sir. We'll go ahead with the next question. Our next question is from the line of Kalpesh Agarwal from Lloyds LLP. Please go ahead.
Hello.
Yeah, hello, Mr. Agarwal.
Good morning. Is my voice audible?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Congratulations on a very good set of numbers, sir. And it is very encouraging to see this kind of numbers. I would like to understand one thing. In the first line, you have said that Board of Directors considered that improved cash flow position at MCL may reach a higher dividend payout. So, I want to understand that are we getting cash flows remitted from Mamba to India now? I mean, that's happening smoothly. I mean, earlier, some years back, we had some kind of resistance from, getting back the cash flows. And even when we see the cash flow number, what has really happened is that our cash bank balance remains same, but standalone has seen some kind of reduction in the cash balance. And though there is no capex in standalone is concerned. So I just want to understand this anomaly and if you can guide us through.
Yeah. So with regards to our dividend policy, we generally go with standalone numbers. So what I meant by Board of Directors considered a higher dividend is because of the turn of events from Mamba Collieries. The cash has still not come from Mamba to the company, otherwise it would have been reflected in the standalone. But because what Mamba has been doing the past few months is using the cash it has been generating to reduce the debt significantly. We've come down from $483 million as of April 22 to now we're only at 265. So, and this happened essentially in the last 6 months. We've almost paid off $218 million of debt. What we foresee and what the directors foresee is now with this improved position and once we clear all the overdue payments of the lenders and meet the requirements as per the loan agreement, we will be able to start distribution in the near future. So given that progress, I think we have agreed and decided to pay 300%.
Okay. And, another question is that the kind of, 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 cash flows we are generating, we are using it to primarily repay the loan, as you said, in Mamba. So, over the period of time now, we have something around 2,700 crores outstanding on a consolidated basis. And considering that you pay every 6 months, so I guess, what kind of run rate you are expecting the kind of repayment, sir?
No, so I think it's not our intention to pay the entire loan before we start distributing. I think the issue here is there are overdue amounts with the lenders because previously there were 6 installments that were overdue. Once, and today there are only 2 because we paid off 4 of them. So once we pay the other 2 and meet certain conditions that the lenders have put in the agreement, we will be finally in a position to declare, basically start distribution while we continue paying off the debt as per the 6-monthly installment. So it would run in parallel. But I think the key thing here is to pay off the overdue amounts.
Right, because we are kind of making 800 crores yearly profit, and I understand that cash profit will be significantly higher when it comes to Mamba, because 100 million comes to 800 crores. So cash will be something 1,000 odd crores. So 1,000 crores, how much percentage you say you can remit after meeting that condition, sir?
Mr. Agarwal, as our CEO pointed out, about $59 million we have to repay the outstanding lenders amount as and when we realize the receivables, and post that we have to fulfill the debt covenants like filling the DSRA account, so on and so forth. Post that the distribution window opens for Mamba Collieries to dividend to shareholders. Once the distribution window opens, that's when when the dividend starts. Nava directors will take a call to take upon the requisite corporate actions.
Yeah, that I understood that. What I'm trying to understand is that out of $100 million yearly profit, or say $125 million cash profit, what internally the management team will be able to remit after all the taking everything you said right now?
You see like this, on a normative run rate, yeah, we do get around 90 to 100 million cash in Mamba. And as we see it, the repayment requirement is about 60 million a year.
Okay.
So this will continue till 6.
Okay.
So balance money, other than for keeping OPEX, will we hope to have distributions, and we would be entitled for 65% thereafter.
Thank you. Understood. Thank you.
That's how the plan should work. Once the overdue payments are done and we meet the loan covenants in this year, balance of the year, we probably would be in a much better position to give you exact numbers and how it pans out.
So roundabout, I'm working with $20 million. That's close to 1,700 crores. Should be a comfortable number for us to work.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Maybe you are about right. Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Our next question is from the line of Vijay P, individual investor. Please go ahead.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Yes. So Vijay, may we request you to use the handset?
Yes, I'm using the handset.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. The question is regarding in the first place, since the press release came out just 5 minutes before this discussion started, I am shooting in the dark as far as the performance numbers are concerned. There was no investor presentation also this time, which normally comes. So I have a question about the dividend. You're paying out 80.5 crores as dividend this year, which works out to 25% of your standalone profit as per your stated policy of 25% outgo. But if you look at the consolidated profit, it is barely 5.3%. Is this going to continue in future? The standalone profits and consolidated profits are different. Company makes profits.
Mr. Priyokar, in terms of the numbers, I think you're slightly off.
The dividend payout this year is slightly higher. If you would recall, in our history, we've been generally paying about 22-23% of standalone PAT as a dividend. But this year, if you take into consideration the 6 rupees dividend, which is working out to 87 crores, it is about 27% of the PAT on the standalone basis. And
my question is why are you distinguishing between standalone and consolidated when the difference is so much? Standalone profit is only 300, the consolidated profit is 1,518 crores.
The reason we differentiate, Mr. Priolkar, is because there is a difference in terms of the cash on hand that the company has to distribute dividends is from the standalone. Once the consolidated operations start distribution or declaring dividends to the parent company, it will come to the parent company and reflect on the standalone numbers. So basing it as a percentage of the consolidated profits would not make sense for us because that wouldn't be cash that we would have available to distribute.
Just for a clarification, apple for apple basis, the two key managerial representatives of the board get 2% of the net profit of the company as commission. Is this 2% also paid on standalone and not on consolidated?
Yes, it is paid on standalone.
All right. My next question is about your... I am taking that as the gospel truth. I am moving to the next question of what is the status of the manganese mine in Ivory Coast? When is it going to come on the line?
Mr. Priolkar, the exploration works are underway. Prima facie, what we have seen thus far is that there is a presence of manganese. Probably by H2, we'll be able to ascertain in terms of what the probable reserves are, as well as the suitability of the ore for producing manganese alloys.
Okay, so the manganese ore mine is still not on production, it's still on exploration.
Correct.
All right. The second question I had was about the monetization of assets that has been there on the cards for more than 2-3 years. The latest one is the land at Nacharam, where we had employed the services of JLL.
Yes. So with regards to Nacharam land, like you rightly said, we had engaged JLL. What has happened since then is, you probably remember there was a ULC urban land stealing matter that we were fighting in court, which we won. The government has appealed that judgment, which is going to be admitted in the High Court. And due to that, the offers or the interest we have been getting were slightly subdued. And in addition to that, what we have been realizing is in Nacharam, the land prices, the valuations have been increasing at a very drastic pace. So what we have decided is to kind of pause the activity of selling it right now, so that and probably resume it at a later point in time where we get a much better valuation.
But is the land currently saleable since the government has gone on appeal?
We consider that appeal to be vexatious, Mr. Priolkar, but I think it's a matter of time that we get that matter out of the way.
Thank you very much. That is all from my side.
Yes.
Thank you. Our next question is from the line of Sri Krishna Agarwal, who is an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. Most of the questions have been answered. My only request is that to schedule the meeting after the market hour of 3:30. It's in the market hour, it's very difficult to attend all these meetings.
Sure.
Thank you. Our next question is from the line of Nikhil Avayankar from ICICI Securities. Please go ahead. Mr. Nikhil, your line has been unmuted. Please go ahead with your question.
Sorry. So what were the merchant sales in Q4 in India, and how is the trend in the last 2 months?
Sorry, can you repeat yourself?
So what were the merchant sales in India, and how is the trend in the last 2 months, April and May?
You're talking of power or?
Power. Yeah, power.
You see, in Q4, unfortunately, the prices weren't that great, where we were getting really a kind of margin that we were expecting over the variable cost of coal. But we see a clear uptick from April onwards. And so Q1 of the current financial year, we see a much better performance in terms of merchant power sale. Although we cannot put a number out now, but a better performance is definitely there.
Okay. And so, just a final question. Any update on Hyderabad or Dharmavaram land deals?
Our CEO has just covered it, but on Dharmavaram land, I will leave it to you. No, Dharmavaram land, there's been no progress. I don't think that's something we are concentrating on right now to liquidate because valuations are fairly low there. But on the Hyderabad land, I just did communicate that there is an appeal on the ULC matter, and also given the trend of prices moving upwards with regards to that area, we want to hold it so we get a better valuation in the future.
Okay. Sure. Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, you may press star and 1 to ask a question.
Operator request has been initiated. If you'd like to cancel this request, please press star 0 again.
Go ahead. Ms. Falguni.
Operator request has been initiated. If you'd like to cancel this request, please press star 0 again.
Hello? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, one question from my side again. Sir, what is the volume of our merchant sales, let's say in FY23 in a million units, if you can give?
Give us a second. You're talking of power, right?
Yes, sir.
580 million units, ma'am.
580 million units in FY23 is the merchant sales from India, right?
Yes.
And sir, this number is constant through the years, each of the years, or it undergoes a change depending on?
It changes depending upon the market conditions.
Then the sales volume also changes?
Yes.
So in case if we don't sell it to the merchant market, we enter into some agreement with somebody?
You see, we have been doing this merchant sale through IEX mostly, excepting for some contracts which are for a month or two kind of a time frame. But otherwise, it's been mostly on IEX sale. So as my colleague pointed out, the volumes keep changing depending on how the merchant power prices behave vis-a-vis our cost of generation.
Okay, and sir, pardon me for my ignorance. One more question is, what would be our total sales, if you can give power sales again in India in million units again, FY23?
Sure, I think we have.
Ma'am, you can look at the segmental bifurcation in the results published.
The volumes would be given there? I was asking for volumes in million units.
You just mentioned to ma'am 580 million units.
This is the total power sales that we do. Not just the merchant, I was asking about the total in India.
Just give us a minute. Just give us a minute. It's 1,230 million units, ma'am, captive as well as third-party sales.
Fine, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. That was the last question of our question and answer session. I would now like to hand the conference over to the management for closing comments.
I'd like to thank each and every one of you for your earnest participation in today's call. thanks to all of you for your unwavering support once again, and I hope all your questions have been answered. In case you have more questions, please reach out to us on a wider investor platform, and we'll be happy to provide our answers. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. On behalf of ICICI Securities, that concludes this conference. Thank you for joining us, and you may now disconnect your line.